Good morning, boys and girls. Thank you for joining with me as we share a story and as we seek to learn a little bit more about following Jesus in our daily lives. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. I know you can't really respond to me too well. And I'll ask your mom or dads to cover their ears so they don't hear the answer. Have you ever gotten in trouble at home? Have you ever done exactly what you wanted to do, even though you knew that it wasn't something that you should have been doing in the first place? Well, I'm introducing you today to another series of books written by Max Lucado. It involves Hermie. And today we're going to learn about his friend Buzby, the misbehaving bee. So I'll get to reading the story for you. Buzby, the misbehaving bee, never followed the rules. Finally, the other bees told him, "Don't come back until you learn to follow the rules." Buzby didn't care. "I'm too cool for the rules," Buzby said. "I'll start my own beehive and I'll be king of the bees." That night, Buzby started building his new hive. All the loud hammering and sawing noises woke up Hermie the caterpillar. Buzby didn't care. "I'm too cool for rules," Buzby said. "I'm king of the bees, and I'll do as I please." And he did. But the noise kept Hermie awake all night. The next morning, Hermie agreed to watch Lucy Ladybug's twins, Haley and Bailey. Just as the ladybugs arrived, Buzby buzzed by so fast that it turned Hermie and Wormy and Lucy upside down, and the twins laughed. "Who is that?" Haley asked. "He's so cool," Bailey sighed. "That's Buzby," Hermie said. "He thinks he's king of the bees." Before she left, Lucy reminded the twins of the rules. "Stay with Hermie and do as he says." "Yes, Mama," the twins said. But Haley and Bailey didn't obey the rules. While Hermie and Wormy were talking, the twins sneaked away to find Buzby. And when Hermie and Wormy realized the twins were gone, they started looking for them. Hermie and Wormy found Haley and Bailey watching Buzby at his new beehive. "This place is a mess," Wormy whispered to Hermie. "Buzby, let us show you the garden golden rules," Hermie said. "Rules? I'm too cool for rules," Buzby said. "I'm king of the bees and I'll do as I please." "Yes, I know," said Hermie, "but follow me anyway." "Well, okay," Buzby said. The group went to the rock with the garden golden rules written on it. Hermie read the rules out loud. "Always listen to God. Don't open the gate. Do listen to your parents. Do help one another. Do love one another. Don't hurt another bug's feelings. Don't make a mess. Don't cause others to do wrong. No speeding and no loud noises after bedtime." Buzby shook his head. "I'm too cool for rules," Buzby said. "I'm king of the bees and I'll do as I please." And he left. "I think he's trouble," said Hermie. "Yes," Wormy agreed. "I think he's cool," said Haley. "He's super cool," Bailey agreed. Buzby broke all the garden rules. He even dropped acorns on the anthills. And all the while, Buzby said, "I'm too cool for rules. I'm king of the bees and I'll do as I please." And he did. Lucy Ladybug told her twins, "Stay away from that misbehaving Buzby," but the twins didn't listen. Hermie and Wormy prayed to God for help with Buzby. God knew about Buzby. "I've known many like Buzby who don't like to follow the rules. Buzby doesn't understand that rules are to keep him and others safe. Rules are a way of saying, 'I love you.'" God promised he would talk to Buzby. Buzby took a sip of honey and smacked his lips. "I'm king of the bees, that's me." Then he heard a voice call his name, "Buzby." "Who said that?" Buzby looked around. "Who's talking to the king of the bees?" "It's God, Buzby. And I'm king of everything. You should follow the garden rule, the garden golden rules." Buzby didn't want to listen to God. He flew away. Later, Buzby met Haley and Bailey at the big fence gate. "Let's open it," Buzby said. The twins stepped back. "But we're not supposed to open the gate, and that's a rule we'd better follow," Haley said. "Oh, I'm too cool for rules," Buzby said. "I'm the king of the bees, and I'll do as I please. Watch me." Slowly, Buzby opened the gate. First there was silence, then a rumbling, then a shaking, then a quaking, and then standing before Buzby, Haley, and Bailey was a big frog. Big bully croaker! Haley screamed. Run for your life! Bailey shouted. Uh-oh, big frog. Not cool. Buzby flew away too. The big frog hopped through the garden, smashing everything in his path. He hopped so high he even knocked Buzby's beehive to the ground. Oh no! My beehive is broken. The king of the bees has no home. Buzby was sad. Buzby, God said. Buzby still didn't want to listen to God. Buzby flew away. The ants found Buzby's broken hive and put it back together. This hive belongs to the bee who dropped acorns on our hill, Art Ant said. That doesn't matter. We're doing what would please God, Antonio Ant said. Meanwhile, other garden bugs had seen the open gate. Big bully croaker is on the loose. Run for your lives. Hurry, everyone. Go to the anthill. We'll be safe underground, Hermie said. Buzby found a new place to live. He didn't know it was Flo the Fly's home. Just then, Buzby heard a voice call his name. Oh, no, Buzby said. It's God. Buzby still didn't want to listen to God. Buzby quickly flew away. At the anthill, the garden friends were all jumping into the ant's home to hide. Just as the last one made it safely inside, they heard thump. Big bully croaker had plopped down on the door to the anthill. Everyone inside was trapped. Who let the frog out? Asked Antonio Ant. Bailey Ladybug blurted out, Buzby did it. But we were with him, Haley said. Lucy was disappointed that the twins had disobeyed her. Rules are to keep you and others from getting hurt, she said. Look what breaking one rule has done. We're very sorry we disobeyed, the twins said. We promised to follow the rules from now on. When Buzby saw that the ants had fixed his hive, he felt bad about dropping acorns on their hill. And he prayed, God, I'm sorry I broke the rules. I promise to obey them from now on. Will you forgive me? Of course, Buzby, God said. I love you. That's why I have rules to keep you safe. Then God told Buzby to rescue the others, and this time, Buzby listened. Buzby flew toward the giant frog. Big bully croaker tried to grab Buzby with his tongue. Buzby pointed his stinger at the frog. Let my friends go, Buzby said. Now, bees don't like frogs, but frogs really don't like angry bees. Big bully croaker jumped off that anthill and quickly hopped away. Everyone thanked Buzby for rescuing them. Listen up, Buzby said. I'm sorry I broke the garden rules. Now I know that rules are cool. Will you forgive me? And they did. Buzby's bee friends also forgave him. God was happy with Buzby too. From now on, Buzby would listen to God and follow the rules. Remember that. Rules are important. Our family home rules are great. School rules are great as well because they help us to be safe as we care for one another, as we play with one another. May the peace of our Lord Jesus be with you. Thanks for joining with me.